Holy shit. Welcome, friends of the show. Let me just say thank you for bearing with us for being 2 minutes late because the entire system was down about 15 minutes ago in Austin Hamlin production. Tonight we're going to be talking with Chris.
Making sure everyone knows.
Tonight we're going to be talking with Chris from DCHeavyMetal.com.
Hey.
But first, something near and dear to me. We lost one of my childhood heroes. Adam West has passed away.
Wait, what?
You didn't know?
About what?
Adam West.
What about him?
Adam West is dead. He lost his battle with leukemia, sadly. You had that just in case?
Always.
Okay. And you know, it's funny how I found out. I was working, the company I work for had a booth at Celebrate Fairfax, and I was thinking, you know what, it's going to be 90 degrees out, it's going to suck, but I'm going to go to this county fair and I'm going to kick a lot of ass. So I put on my Batman socks for luck. And then I found out Adam West was dead 20 minutes later. And I laughed.
Killed him!
I laughed because I'm so damn uncomfortable with that situation.
You killed him.
But you know, he was really one of the very early influences on me growing up. I used to not want to go to school because I was worried about getting home late and missing the reruns of Batman when I was growing up. And this was like in the 90s. The show was long since ended its 3-season run. But me being 4 or 5, however many years old I was, it was the coolest damn thing ever. And I never understood when my dad would laugh at the show. I was like, this is serious stuff. This is Batman. He's fighting crime. And only as an adult did I ever really come to appreciate the genius of what they were doing with that show. So before we get any further, I just want to say, you know, rest in peace, Adam West, and thank you for everything. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. You'll always be with the show. So segues are weird. I don't have anything to really rant about because honestly that's what's been on my mind. Adam West is dead, and the world will never be the same. So let's get right to it. Here in studio, as I said, Chris from DCHeavyMetal.com. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing awesome today, except for this whole downer that we just got into, obviously. But hey, transitions are great, aren't they?
Fantastic.
I had a wonderful day of helping someone move in 90-degree weather. That was awesome. No, it's been not the best someday, but hey, next week will be better, I'm sure.
Yeah, Burt Ward's gonna die or some shit.
I hope not, man. Hope not.
Yeah.
But
We need you, Burt.
I know I used to watch the old Batman show a lot actually when I was a kid too. We used to, watch the old reruns on VHS and stuff too. So.
Pull the mic a little closer to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a bummer. He's a really funny guy. Was a little worse off without him. So.
Paper, it's all down.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
Well, Chris, I've known you for a while.
Couple weeks, yeah.
At least a couple weeks.
I've known him
connections on Craigslist or something, I think.
To be fair, I've known you roughly 30 minutes.
So we met on the internet, as you said, but not in nearly as an exciting way. I was trying to get metal shows going at a venue called the State Theater in Falls Church, and you reached out to me and told me you had this blog were you just getting started then? DCHeavyMetal.com is what we're talking about.
I think it was probably my first years around there. I don't remember the exact time. When was the first one? You remember the date on that?
No.
Yeah.
No, I think we did the first show at the State Theater sometime in the fall, like 2010, maybe 2009.
Yeah, because my blog started September 09.
Okay.
So that was like when I first posted that or whatever. So, yeah, that's probably a year, something like that. I've been doing it. So, yeah, I remember you were kind of, I think, needed some help with booking some of the locals or whatever. So, I know a lot of local bands.
It was funny because I moved here from Winchester. I didn't know anybody, and I was like, I've got this big fucking stage I have access to.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I saw it as a cool opportunity to get a bunch of cool locals up there. That was a cool thing you put together. It was cool seeing King Giant up there and some of the other bands that came out too. And you know, they did pretty well. I think there was one that snowed. You know, it always sucks in the snow. Nobody comes out when it snows, but for the most part, I think they did pretty well. And they're pretty fun.
A couple hundred people every night.
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't seen a lot of other metal at the State Theater since. So.
Well, they and I had a falling out, and I guess you know, whatever. Maybe they just didn't have the drive or anyone in there kind of pushing it. But it was definitely. But
I mean, that's going to mostly just be a cover band venue these days anyway. But
well, that's the problem with a lot of people. They would rather hear the same like 20 AC/DC songs they know than go just. Eric Clapton and Dave Navarro, enemies of the show.
There's a lot of bad people in the industry, but you know, there's good people too.
But so the reason why I wanted you to come here, you posted about this, so you're going to be returning. But I want to know, because it was an interesting story, what got you to starting the blog?
Well, there's a lot of things. I know what you're kind of getting. There's a lot of factors, really. I mean, I could just pull a perfect storm of stuff or whatever. But to start things off, it was kind of, you know, a lot of my friends, now I know a lot more people, you know, through the blog, through the metal scene, whatever, but before a lot of my friends, not really that into metal, most of them were like into punk and stuff, which is cool. I like punk too, but I'm a metalhead, you know. And, you know, I found myself finding all this info all the time on bands coming to town and whatever, and like, I never really wanted to go to shows here or anything, so. I visited my dad out in Los Angeles for, you know, a trip. And before, you know, I was going out for like a week or something, and so I was like, hey, I wonder if there's going to be any metal shows out there. There's a band I can see out there that never comes by or something like that. And so I started looking online, and there's a site called moshking.com. And they had, I would say there's similar to my site. My site was really inspired by Mosh King. And they had a cover on there, like everything SoCal, you know, Anaheim, LA, San Diego, all that stuff was on there. And I was like, that's really awesome, you know. I was like, here I am collecting all this information in my town too. I was like, you know, maybe I'll start throwing it up on the internet, seeing if people are reading it and stuff like that too. But also, I was in a really bad place. I was in a bad relationship at the time too. And I really was looking for like positive outlets for things, you know. You know, when everything kind of sucks in your life. I think that's when you gotta get creative, you know. It helps a lot, and it doesn't even matter what you do. You can pick up a guitar, you can pick up a camera, you can paint, you can do whatever you want to do that makes you make something. At the end of the day, you've created something positive, you know. Even if you're not that good at it, something you can build on, something you can practice at and work towards. And the blog was that for me, you know. I was doing some little photography here and there, posting some things on Flickr, shooting some bootleg videos that end up on YouTube. And the site was basically a way to like roll all that in together, you know, something I could do that's creative, something I could focus on when I was having a really bad day, and just kind of shut the rest of the world out and work, you know, work on something that I was passionate about, that was creative, and, you know, and mental helps in dark times too, I think. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of that's why the blog kind of happened when it did and how and everything too. It wasn't anything really one factor.
I'm definitely glad, like, as fucked up as this may seem, I'm glad for whatever happened to you because, you know, obviously we're friends.
I know what you're saying, yeah.
You know what I mean? The shittiest, I'm glad that the blog exists, because you are sort of like the focal point in this area. Everybody knows who you are.
I don't know if I'm the
well, now
point.
everybody knows who you are, now that Austin knows. No, but you may not see it because you're so close to it, but just about everybody in this area knows DCHeavyMetal.com who's into this kind of hard, aggressive, threatening music.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I wanted to do is kind of unite communities. You know, even in high school, you know, there's always cliques and stuff. I went to Robinson, which is a million fucking people in it, and you know, I had my groups of friends, but I kind of bounced between some of the different groups and stuff, and it's something when I started going to more metal shows, I started seeing locally the same kind of thing, and I'm like, in the end, I'm like, we're all fucking metalheads. It's all like,
What kind of thing are you seeing?
well, it's like you go to a small, like, we're talking DIY shows. You're not the big, when Iron Maiden comes to town, everybody fucking goes. But I mean, like, the more small stuff,
Like 5 local bands in a gay bar playing for their girlfriends.
Yeah, right? Yeah, like, just tiny stuff. But, like, you go to Northern Virginia, and there's different people that are playing than the ones in D.C., and then there's the ones in Maryland, and the ones up in Baltimore. And in the end, like, I'm like, all these people should know each other. All these bands should be playing with each other, Instead of seeing the same 5 Nova bands on the bill every 2 weeks at a different venue, why don't we mix some of this up and get a couple of the DC guys out in Nova and get a couple of, just start making it, more unified. Something I really wanted to do was get people to, because one of those things, like, I see all the pieces here. I just need to try to work to, get it together. So that's something I've tried to work on, too. I don't know how successful I've been or not, but there's always drama in politics.
Honestly, I would say you've been pretty successful, at least. So here's what I've noticed: everybody's friends with each other, at least to their faces. But nobody still gets that, and I think that might just be the era we're living in.
I mean, people do. Some of it's the draw too. I mean, some of it's hard, if you're putting a show on, like on a Tuesday night somewhere, it's hard to get people out. It just is, like, to do anything, be it see bands or not, like, it's not a simple thing. And DIY promoters it's a shitty, thankless job, that they do. They put a lot of work into it, and it's a gamble. You're rolling the dice every time, and people might show up, and it's great, and you make money. Usually you're giving most of that to any touring band or anything anyway, you're not living off of it.
Half the promoters I know just wind up paying bands out of pocket.
Exactly. And that's what happens when you don't roll snake guys, Yeah, you get burned a lot too. It happens. It can even be something as stupid as it just snowed one day and then no one came out. So.
It looks like we have some comments. I haven't read them yet, but do you want to answer some questions if there are any?
Sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do we have any questions in the comments?
The mask.
So people at home, you guys don't know this, but I'm no longer sitting right next to Austin. We've rearranged the entire, I guess we'll call this a studio, so I can only see him when he's on the monitors.
Oh.
Anyway, in terms of questions, no, we don't have any questions, but we have some people commenting saying, hey, your audio's all messed up. Don't worry, I have it fixed. Apparently someone says your best boy, Chris.
I don't know who it is.
That's Tom, actually.
Oh, cool.
Congratulations, you now have someone saying your best boy.
Oh, great.
And I feel what Chris is saying on a spiritual level also.
I'm like totally atheist and not spiritual, but you know what? Great.
Apparently you've made someone find religion.
Awesome, sure.
Congratulations,
Whatever.
you've done that. And
the least metal thing I could have done.
Lydia Hendricks is really into your website.
Cool.
Lydia Hendricks
Awesome.
loves your website.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Send him gold stars.
It's a lot of work. I'm glad. When I started, I never thought I would be doing a lot of the stuff I've gotten to do with it.
Have you made a single dime off DCHeavyMetal.com? Other than selling
Like beer money and stuff, but nothing like.
You're not making
I haven't paid my rent. Well, I refuse to put ads on it is one thing too. I don't want any paid advertisements or anything on DC Metal. Never will be.
You don't want to be the next Blabbermouth?
Well, it's not even just that. It's just you get in a lot of journalistic ethical issues because people who would pay me, I'm a local blog, so I'm basically going to get paid 930 Club or things like that, be advertising shows with me, and I'll do promotional stuff for them, but I don't get paid for that. I get some free tickets or something, but half the time I don't even go to the shows I'm promoting, so whatever. But I can't go to them all. And it's like I want to help them out, but if I can't go, I don't work a 9 to 5 either, so sometimes my hours just conflict, and that's fine, whatever. I still want to help people come out to more metal shows where I'm getting something out of it or not. I mean, that's really the main point to me. But I don't want ads on there. You get into some issues where, say I was getting paid every month by 930 Club, like they do with BYT and some of the other sites like that, Well, what happens when I go to the 930 Club and I'm really fucking bad time there, A bartender fucking spills my drink, charges me twice or something. The sound crew's shit that night and just ruins the night, right? Well, I can't say that now. They're paying me to talk about how good the club is and promote it. And so if I do have a bad night, it could be anywhere. I'm not singling out them for any reason. It could be anywhere, in a Rock and Roll Hotel or Fillmore or whatever. But But I want to have that freedom that I'm like, yo, if something sucks is screwed up, like I can say that. But when you start getting the advertisers involved, it changes that, and it's not. I don't know. It's not true.
A conflict of interest.
It is, and it's like I want to be. It's more important to me to be able to write what I want, honestly, and I write my experience to show, and I think it's what you should do. But when you start getting people to pay you for that kind of stuff, it can get weird.
So you
Turn the punch bowl. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you have
2 questions, by the way.
All right.
you have questions? Okay, let's
You
go.
have questions.
All right.
Now, one. What is your favorite band?
Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath.
Ozzy era Black Sabbath.
Ozzy
yes.
era Black Sabbath. All right.
I got Ozzy tattooed on my left knuckle.
Why don't you hold that up to them?
You tried.
It's there.
Look, contrast.
You have to get past the light.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, medium in person.
Ozzy, who's that reference to?
Ozzy can hear it, actually, big fan.
that makes sense.
No.
And how do you feel with the modern metal scene?
I mean, I guess that could mean a lot of things. I like new bands. One thing I don't like is everyone always telling me about how new bands suck all the time. I'm like, no, you're just listening to the wrong bands. Is generally my response. There's a lot of good new bands coming out. That band that was really awesome 8 years ago might not be good anymore.
What band should people go check out right now?
Well, I was listening to Power Trip on the way over here. I love it. All right, are we back?
I got
I
that.
think we're back.
We told them 2 minutes, and that was a lot less than 2 minutes.
You want to run the show?
Continue.
You want to run? Oh yeah, Windows takes forever to do anything.
No, to shut down. Windows takes forever to shut down.
As very clearly, obviously not.
Well, you're gonna pull the plug on it. That's different, but
I spent $12,000 on my computer. I'll pull whatever plug I want to. No, not $12,000, $1,200.
Way to go.
I'm not made of money.
yeah.
Are we up now? So is our
liquid
stream-
cooled system for that price.
Is our stream going?
Yeah, we
All
are.
right.
We're back.
We're back.
Welcome.
We still have 4 people watching.
All right. Thank you for being a good sport during all this.
That's
All
okay.
right. So where are we at? What were we talking
Excuse
about?
me. Excuse me.
Somebody's asking me about modern metal. I believe they're asking what I feel about modern metal.
You-
Oh, and your favorite current bands. Like, who do you go see?
Oh yeah. I was like saying Power Trip is really good. I like them a lot. Their new album's been great. There's this black metal band called Necro Blood. I've really been like, they just put out their first. I think they released all these like EPs and splits because they're black metal and whatever. But they finally put out their first full length album this year. But I usually try to focus more on things that are like, this band's got an album coming out, or this band's coming through town soon, that kind of stuff. Especially locals too. I want people to know there's new local albums coming out and things, and then.
Because the locals become the big guys eventually.
That's not even just that. I mean, I think, one thing I really learned from running DC Heavy Metal is there are a lot of really fucking good bands in this town, and I think people just don't know it. Like, sometimes you might know someone in one band or something, or one genre or something, but there's a good, diverse, healthy music scene
I'm not fishing here, and we're not trying to play favorites, but like 4 or 5 bands that come to mind right off the bat out of this area.
Well, definitely not Death Penalty.
Definitely
But, obviously, some of the stoner and doomy stuff, King Giant and Baracho, obviously, I think that's really big. Doom has always been big in this area ever since the era of, Pentagram and Wretched and The Obsessed and those kind of bands all coming out of here. I like the new Obsessed album a lot too, actually. Wino's like returned to his roots. I like that album a lot. Which I know some people haven't loved, but I don't know. I'm a Wino fan. I like him a lot. Let me see some other ones that are good, that are local. We did a Sick Deer review recently, a black metal band. They're really good. I really like their sound. They had like some sort of like Romanian. I was playing some weird instruments on it. Some Romanian musician. I don't know. It's weird, but it's like surprisingly really good. Dispelment. They're another black metal band from the area I really like too. But I like some of the bigger stuff too. Pig Destroyer and things like that. So I don't know. I'm a little all over the place.
Cool.
Yeah, I try to listen to a little bit of everything. So.
I gotcha. Do you have one thing I want to know? Do you have any help going with the website yet? Is it still a solo thing, or does anyone else?
No, I do have 2 writers, and they mostly do album reviews for me. Every now and then they'll have me do something else, but usually album reviews. And the main reason I did that is because the main thing that takes up the time for me on the website is the calendar. The calendar is never done. It is endless hours of work. And as soon as I think I've got everything done, it's just this endless stream of people reminding me what shows I've forgotten to list on it or haven't gotten to yet. But I do a lot on the calendar, so I got these other writers that I brought in, and I want people with their own opinions too, you know, not just everything, here's what I think about this. But that way, well, I can work on the calendar behind the scenes for like a couple of weeks straight, and then I can still be posting new content at the same time that is what they're working on. I still edit what they write, but for the most part, it's their voice.
Do you edit it grammatically or just for things like what would you edit out?
Well, I don't edit out things per se, but usually I'm like, you know, this probably flows better if you mention this before that, or make sure you mention where the band is from, or just things like that. But it's not
a little bit of cleanup, but you're not cracking a whip.
No. I want them to have their voices, and I want them to have their opinions. And you know, we do everything in Google Doc. Everybody kind of does now, I think, and it's a cool experience because we can sit there and work on it together, either real time or not. But either way, I can be like, you know, highlight things, be like, you need to fix this, or I think this should be fixed. And if they don't think they should, and they want to argue it, they can sit there. And sometimes I'm convinced. I'm like, no, you're right. I was reading that wrong, and that should be done this way, you know. But so it's like I want them to be pleased with what they're writing as well, you know. But you know, I think they both do good. And they both have very, very different opinions on music from both myself and each other. Which is good. That's what I want. You know, I want diversity on there. So.
Do you consider yourself and I guess your guys journalists then?
Yeah, I certainly do to a certain extent. I mean, I don't know if we're the same as like somebody that's like following Trump around with the Washington Post or something.
He's that damn liberal media. I knew it.
Yeah.
I'm getting to that.
I'm not exactly on on that kind of level, but I think to a certain extent we are. You know, at least locally, I certainly think we are. You know, I mean. And I'm strict about that. Is one thing I'm strict about. Like, you know, make sure you have your facts right. And I do it on my own stuff too. It's like we don't post rumors. We don't say like, oh, this maybe this or blah blah. It's like, and if we're not sure, we talk to the person or the label or whoever. Like we find the answer. You know, before we write it. We don't just. I don't know. 'Cause I see a lot of those. You know, Metal Sucks does it a lot. Like, oh, we posted a rumor and it turns out we were totally wrong. Oops. Well, we're not journalists. And I'm like, fuck you. Yes, you are. Like. A lot of people are influenced by the things you write. You can influence album sales and all kinds of things. Like, to take a cheap-ass route like that and be like, well, sometimes you just don't double-check. Like, it's pretty lazy, you know? So, I don't know. That's something that I certainly, you know, stress to my guys. Like, we don't know. Either don't write it or find the answer. But none of this maybe or I think it's this.
Everyone knows the Metal Sucks people. I see it.
Well,
Next week on Batman,
I'm sure they're fine. Blabbermouth has always been nice to me. They repost my stuff all the time. So,
I see it every now and then.
the Metal Injection stole my logo.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
This logo?
No, it's not this one. The one I have with Abraham Lincoln and the corpse paint, which I have two different versions of. And then they started doing the like Black Metal History Month thing a few years ago, and they took, it's not the exact same way, it seems like an artist do the same thing that I was already doing, Abraham Lincoln wearing corpse paint, and started putting on shirts and selling it, and I'm like, I don't have the money to do them,
Do you think they took that from you, or do you think
I'm sure they did, I'm sure, but that, you know what, that's not even like the worst thing to me, like fine, whatever. The thing that really sucks is, like, and I know it's supposed to be like a pun on Black History Month or whatever they make about black metal, but like Abraham Lincoln isn't really part of Black history. Like Black history is about what Black people did, not like what a white person did for Black people. That's not Black history. You know, like,
that is not how I choose to remember.
I'm just saying, like they could, you know, take Martin Luther King Diamond or something. You know, like right? Yeah, exactly. Like that would have been funny in Black history, but I'm like instead they just ripped off my logo. I was like, come on, dude, it's like I'm not gonna sue them. I don't care that much. Like whatever, but it's just. It's dumb. It's dumb.
It kind of sucks, right?
Oh,
Alright, we got questions.
All right, Batman, what do you have for questions?
Chris.
Hold on, can you read them in your best Adam West?
I will not do him that disservice.
All right, what about your best comment?
Chris, what do you think?
Oh, look.
Christian Bale?
Shut the fuck up. I'm reading your goddamn question. You want this question to happen or not?
Read them to me.
Chris, what do you think of Abbott Solo versus Immortal?
You know, I actually interviewed Abath. It's actually pronounced Abat, he said. I interviewed him from Norway on the website on DC Heavy Metal a year ago, just before he came to Baltimore. I mean, obviously, Immortal is going to be better with him, and he's going to be better with Immortal. But his live show is still pretty fun. He plays a lot of old Immortal songs. And, you know, I mean, Aloth is kind of one of the icons of black metal, you know, that second wave out of Norway that didn't end up murdering someone or become a Nazi or anything like that, you know, like, I don't know, I think he's pretty cool. He was a ridiculous person to interview. Like, this guy you always see with all these, like, armor and spikes and stuff is, like, a total goofball. Like, he tells all these, like, dumb jokes and puns, like, the whole time it was hilarious to interview him. I mean, you can listen to it all on DCHeavyMetal.com right now, but
Link in the description.
So,
Yeah.
so no one has to read. They can just click a play button.
yeah, you can stream it, download it, or read it. I transcribe all my interviews.
Minimal effort, people.
Yeah. Well, you know, I want it to be Google searchable later too. So if someone's like, I heard Abbott said this thing in an interview like in 3 years, like you can Google it and it'll come back up. But it's also, you know, you can stream it. The podcasters wanted to download, so.
You know, I actually would rather read an interview just because I don't always have time to throw headphones in. So I do appreciate that you do.
I just like, I mean, different people consume it different ways, and I want it to be accessible to everyone. So that's really the point.
So I'm glad that you brought that up because, like we said earlier, segues are awkward.
Yeah.
But
That's what I'm here for, to shout.
But I mean, like, what's the coolest and what's the most awkward interview you've ever done?
Oh, the coolest by far was when I got to interview Bill Ward from Black Sabbath. Yeah, that's by far the coolest. And there's some other good ones I did. Max Cavalera was really good, and Tom Warrior from Celtic Frost was awesome. But by far, I mean, first I'm a huge Black Sabbath fan, so getting to talk to one of the original members was awesome. He talked forever. He was really good interview too. Some guys, it's like it's hard to kind of get them out of their shell and stuff, and he. Like, I felt like I ran out of questions and I felt like I could have talked to him for another hour. Like, you know, it was that good. It was great. And he was very honest and open. He talked about, you know, leaving Black Sabbath and, you know, his issues with the other guys in the band. But also, like, he talked about, you know, his new solo work, what he's working on now. And he knows, like, every metal drummer in the world, you know. It was kind of funny because I was like, well, yeah, didn't like Dave Lombardo, he was thrown out of Slayer recently. He's like, yeah, another drummer thrown out of a band. And, like, you know, I was like, oh yeah, Joey Jordison out of Slipknot. He's like, I know. He's like, that was a whole nother deal. I was talking to him. I was like, all right, man, this guy like knows like all the it's like there's some sort of underground network of heavy metal drummers. Man, they all are friends or something, which is awesome.
To me.
Well, whatever, man. It was pretty cool. I was like, that's great, man. So, but he's a good person, you know. And we met him a few weeks later. He was in Annapolis doing like a thing for like his art exhibit thing, and part of it was like, you know, he was going to speak about whatever, and he'd talk, and but before he even started, he made sure he shook everyone's hand in the room. Like, he made sure, like, everyone, like, you were on your phone, he came up, and he was just, you know, he wanted everyone to know that, like, you know, I'm not going to, like, he's really appreciative of his fans and everything they do for him and stuff, and it's really genuine, you know. It's not some people just say, like, yeah, we love our fans, and then, like, backstage, we're like, fucking jack up ticket prices, or, you know, like, he really enjoys, you know, the life he's had, and he knows that's because of the fan base, you know, and I generally think he's a very good person too. But he was a great interview. My worst or most awkward interview, probably Marty Friedman, who cut off the interview. I was interviewing him via Skype from Tokyo, from Japan.
So wait, do you have Marty Friedman's Skype name, or was this a throwaway?
I have. It's probably still on my friends list. I don't know. He may have dropped me. I don't know. I'm supposed to do that, but because the guy's in foreign countries, I interview over Skype. So, but I mean, he was fine at first, but as soon as I started talking about Megadeth, he's like, "Yeah, we got to end this interview now," and it was like really weird. And there's a part that I edited out of the interview also earlier on.
Do you want to talk about that now, or do you?
Yeah, I can talk about it. It was just like at the beginning. I was like, whatever. You can go back and listen to the interview, but like I always do like an intro to be like, "Hey, this is this is Kerry King from Slayer. They're coming to town on this date." And blah, you know, just like pitch whatever they're pitching, just get that out of the way. And I did that for him, and you know, I was like, hey, Marty Friedman, longtime guitarist for Megadeth, is now coming back to America from Japan, you know, blah, blah. And he was like, yo, can we redo that and don't mention Megadeth? And I was like, what? Because I was like, no, that's cool and all, but like, dude, the only reason anyone in America likes you is because you were fucking on Rust in Peace and shit. Like,
to be fair, I like Cacophony. I do.
Oh yeah, me too. But like, he's not touring still because of that.
Yeah.
Everyone knows him from Megadeth, you know. And
he's riding the Megadeth money.
yeah, and that's fine. I don't think there's any shame in that. And I understand he's got like a new project he wants to move on, but like, dude, like, you're still like that will always be the biggest band he's ever been a part of, you know. And he was in the band for like a decade. So I don't. It's almost like a shame. It was like some of the guys, like I talked to like Abba, and he was talking all about it, and he just left Immortal, you know. And Bill Ward talked about leaving last Sabbath, and
So there's some.
Marty Freeman definitely got the rock star vibe going on, where it's like, oh, we're not, you know, like.
Well, you know, they treat him like a god over there.
Yeah, I know. From what I hear, it was fine.
He's got his own cooking show.
He's got a bit of the ego. At least when he did would talk to me. Maybe he had a bad day. I don't know. I talked to him for 20 minutes.
Or there are hard feelings about it.
I don't hate the guy. Whatever. Who knows? But it's not like, I don't know. I'm not rushing to do another interview with him. Like.
But
we get back to another question about because you were talking about this.
Yeah.
Who wants to know the real story of why Immortal split? Do you know it?
I don't have any insider information that's not on other blogs or other websites or stuff. To my understanding, the band said that Abba was doing too much drinking and drugs or something. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. That's the last I heard, but I don't know. Who knows?
so you just know what everyone else knows.
Yeah, I don't have secret information. I mean, I interviewed him and asked him about
If you
stuff.
did, would you tell us?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because nobody's watching this. A lot of people.
Whatever, man. I'm just saying, I'll go out there and I write that stuff. Whatever. I'm not trying to lie and hide stuff. I mean.
So you don't pull any punches. You give the facts that you presented.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think that's what you have to do. I mean, part of being a journalist, and you see it a lot in all kinds of entertainment journalism that's going on now, be it
The
music.
liberal media.
No, not even music or video games or whatever. There's a lot of this, everyone scratches each other's back and no one's anything negative to say about anything. And everyone's like, man, all these bands we used to like, we're still buying all their crap new records, It's like, well, yeah, because these people are still, telling you the new Metallica album's really awesome when it's really not. And but people gotta scratch a lot of backs, I guess. But
So how do you feel about the new Metallica album?
Yeah, it would be bad. I don't care. Some people love it, and that's great, man. If that's your jam still, then fine. But whatever, man. There's a lot of better stuff coming out now. I mean, they're just not even the same band, dude. It's like dads or something. They're like millionaires.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're not starving and reading H.P. Lovecraft.
But listen to the stuff on Kill 'Em All. That band is trying to prove themselves. They're coming out look what we can do. We were doing this and no one else is doing this. And they got a chip on their shoulder. And now they're just kind of well, we're all married to supermodels and we made our millions and whatever. We can have vacation homes around the world and whatever. And we tour if we want. And when we do, we're just gonna sell out stadiums anyway. Where's the edge? Where's the anger? What are they striving for? They already won the game. It's metal. There's no teeth to it anymore. I mean, they can write some songs and they can even try to write them like they did in the old days. But you can't fake that. So, I mean, whatever. People still like doing stuff, do them fine. Knock yourself out with it. But a lot of other stuff I'd rather listen to bands recruiting themselves. They're still on that incline,
I gotcha. I'm 100% the same way. There's definitely a different vibe going with that earlier stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and that's most bands. That's why people are always like, oh, their old shit was cooler. It's like, well, Junior was. It's when the bands were fighting to earn it, and it's not just metal. It's all kinds of music,
Especially Garth Brooks.
But didn't he change his name and put out an album as some other Chris something or I don't know. I used to live in Arizona and all everybody did out there was talking about country. It was the worst. Oh man.
Favorite black metal band, apparently.
My favorite black metal band. It's hard to pick a single one. I'm a big fan of Emperor, the old albums.
Wait, is this a genre of music or just a bunch of heavy
metal
people
that
play black?
Are we talking about In Living Color here?
No.
Or is it Living Color? Because In Living Color is the show.
I mean,
Living in Color is the show.
There's a lot of black metal musicians I actually really like and stuff too, but obviously we're talking about the genre of black metal.
What about people?
I mean, I don't know.
Black people, just black people.
We're talking about body count.
People, man. I don't know.
Just talk about body count. That's all he wants.
I don't really like body count. I'm sorry. I don't really like the rap metal stuff. That'll never be my thing. But
really?
No.
Man, Fred Durst is at home watching this. He's one of the 5. He is crying.
But even Anthrax tried that. There's a Black Sabbath album where they had was it one of the Ice-T or something was rapping on.
He goes by Water T now.
Yeah, right. I know.
Body count.
Sliminade. But but anyway, yeah, probably Emperor for the old stuff. For newer stuff, that Mgla band from Poland, like MGLA. I don't know how you say it. It means fog in Polish, apparently. I really like them a lot. They were really good when they played Death Fest, and they have 3 albums, and I love all 3 of them a lot. But yeah, Emperor, like that's one of the bands that really got me into black metal and really what black metal bands could be, you know.
So you think they're what everyone should strive for?
I don't know. I mean, I think Emperor has a unique sound that you can't really imitate. They're almost proggy now. Like I don't know. I don't know. I really like In the Night Side Eclipse, and I really like Anthems to the Welcome in the Dust. I think those are 2 phenomenal black metal albums. They sound very different. And they're both highly influential. I don't know. It's hard to pick a single band sometimes, though. But
All right, what do we have in the questions? I see another one.
I don't know what the fuck this is. Do you like Take? Taake?
Isn't that like a Mexican beer?
yeah, right. That's the Tade.
I
Take Light?
assume that's what that means.
No, they're a band. Their name actually also means fog. They're from Norway.
What the fuck is it with fog?
Yeah, I know, right? And so they both played at Death Fest, like, on the same stage right after each other, I believe, one year, which was like...
How was the weather?
It was actually bright daylight. It's weird seeing black metal bands in the day. So Take's a little weird. I like some of their older stuff. Host, or whatever the guy's name is, I forget his name, whatever. He looks like a damn Dark Jedi Sith. He's had some issues though, because like I know they played like Germany once, like 10 years ago, and like he came out on stage with like swastika because he thought he was like cute, and like he got booed off stage, but it made all the blogs and stuff. And obviously I got no time for that Nazi shit. I don't know. I don't know that they are actually a racist band. It seems more like he was trying to pull a stunt, and it was just in really bad taste. Like in Germany, they got no time for that either, man. That doesn't fly there. But you know, I don't think he's actually one of those racist bands, but it's hard to tell sometimes. He doesn't. I don't know that personally or whatever, but they do that song with a banjo also. That's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Mirror, I think, in YR. It's a banjo solo and it's fucking ripping. So that's pretty cool.
Can I ask you a dumb question? You're a giant man.
Alright, big dude. Yeah.
How tall are you?
6'3".
Is there so without any kind of hate or anything?
Okay.
Who would you want to fight out of the metal community?
Fight? I don't know. I don't gotta fight anybody, man. I'm not really a big fighter.
I'll fight you right now. Let's do this.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't know. I don't know if I try to fight anybody. I mean,
Okay, who do you think's ass you could kick then?
was it ass could I kick? I don't know. You know what'd be fun though is everybody says I look like a singer from Orange Goblin. I've been to like Orange Goblin shows and like chicks that try to buy me drinks thinking they were gonna bang him. And I'm like, I'll take free beer, but I'm not him.
You can
So
go bang him all you want.
no, I got a girl, so no, I can't.
You can go bang him. I'll take the beer.
No, but I just say it'd be pretty fun to, get into like some sort of Greco-Roman, like half-naked fight with him and people just do like mirror match, But I don't know. I wouldn't actually fight him. I'm a fighter, man.
You're just a palace swap of the singer.
Yeah. Maybe we could like swap each other's lives, or like for a day I get to be the singer of Orange Goblin, and for a day he could like write DJ heavy metal and put a bunch of work into it, and then people complain about their show not being listed. But
As dark a joke as this is, you know what I was hoping you were going to say?
who?
The singer for Grim Reaper.
Oh god. Man, I remember them from the old Beavis and Butthead shows where they had that video, man.
They were on Beavis and Butthead?
Well, they watched one of their videos or whatever, not like a guest, I don't think.
No, but I mean, that slipped under my radar entirely.
Well, and yeah, I mean, I don't know how old you are. You're probably a little younger than me.
29.
Yeah, you're about a decade younger than me, so.
God, you people are old.
Yeah. But,
The one with wrinkles in his mask.
But here's the thing, like, I know when they re-show the Beavis and Butthead, they can't show all the music videos. They don't have licenses to, like, all the music. So, like, if you buy them on DVD, it's just like the cartoons. But, it's like, the best part is kind of like MST3K. It's like, the fun part is, like, watching them make fun of it, like, so, I don't know. So, I don't know if they show all that stuff. That's, like, one of the things, like, they show all these videos, and, like, or, like, Nelson was on there, like, those chicks are hot, like, just stupid stuff like that. I don't know.
The one that always sticks out for me is the Pantera one.
Die,
It was what, This Love, and he's like yelling at Phil Anselmo to go mow his lawn.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know really a fighter though. I don't care about that.
Alright.
Do you think you can kick both back in their prime Ozzy and Dio's ass simultaneously?
Is that a question from you, or?
I don't know. Yeah.
Here's a question from me. I want to know.
I have no idea.
You can both.
I mean, Dio's tiny, and I feel like I could sit on him or
You
something.
can throw him.
Yeah, I know. Dude, we're Dio tossing. Oh, dude. That'd be great, but I don't know, yeah. I don't know.
He seems like a wily bastard.
I mean, how fucked up is Ozzy if I'm fighting him? That's like the real question there, too, right?
Is he gonna feel it? Is he gonna go down?
But I mean, is he just like laying on the floor already, or like I don't know, man. I don't know.
Alright, that was
He's good now. I'm gonna go to the punch.
that was a question for me. I need to know.
I'll tell you, I won't fight that wrestler guy, Fozzy or whatever the guy is.
Chris Jericho?
Yeah, there's no way I'm fighting
You wanna
him.
fight with-
Chris Jericho kicked your ass.
Yeah, yeah,
You're probably a better fighter now.
yeah. I don't know, whatever, man. Like,
That's
whatever.
a pop metal band.
I don't care about it, man. But I'm not really into wrestling, so if people are, then I'm gonna go see them. You knock yourself out.
You know, weird full circle. The last Fozzy video I saw was the guy with no legs crawling up the stairs.
Dude, it just reminds me of the Muppets. And I just, how do you name a metal band after a Muppet? It just can't be taken seriously.
Well, you know, they started as like an Ozzy cover band.
Yeah, no, so did Iron Man, and that name is actually cool though, right? Like, but
I guess.
well, it's a lot cooler than a Muppet name. Like,
What do you got against Fozzy Bear?
it's just not metal, man.
Says you.
Yeah, says me. You're right.
So
I
next time,
have an actual website dedicated to
next time you do shirts, I want Fozzy Bear with black metal.
I'm actually working on some new shirts right now, so I got two new designs coming out this summer.
Time to pedal your wares.
One of them's gonna be a kill 'em all with like kill 'em all style, you know, knockoff. I always like to do the knockoff ones.
Yeah.
And the blood splatter is gonna be like in the shape of like the DC map outline, you know. The other one is gonna be a little less metal, but I think old school people from here now. It's gonna say I don't know if you guys will even get this, but I got one. They're gonna be white shirts, which is rare for metal stuff, whatever, right? And they're gonna have the this is not a DCHeavyMetal.com t-shirt. So I don't know if you guys know the old Fugazi, you know, the local.
Why does everyone have to come on here and challenge my metal cred and prove?
Well, they're not
themselves?
even metal, so that's why, whatever. But like I said, I grew up with a bunch of punks and stuff.
Right.
So you're right. I have no idea what you're
So
talking about. I know the
Fugazi,
band.
you know, they were one of the big DIY. They were the center of the DIY scene in DC and much of the East Coast. And you know, they ran Discord Records and whatever. And one of the things they refused to do was print band merch. So like people just started bootlegging shirts, and they would say like, "This is not a Fugazi shirt." Like, you have Fugazi really big, you know, like. So and people used to wear them all the time because it's just that's what people had in high school and shit, you know. But it was funny because it was like obviously a bootleg, you know, because they don't make merch, so whatever. But
Yeah.
so I was just gonna make one. 'Cause, you know, I got a lot of people that kind of like my site and stuff. They wouldn't really get some of the metal jokes, so I was like, that's something like kind of the old punks and stuff in the DC can get. So
That's, you know, I've never seen the shirt, but that's a damn good idea.
yeah, I just thought it'd be funny. I mean, that's the thing. I just want something funny that people enjoy and stuff. So
Have you met King Diamond?
no, I've never met King Diamond. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Man, I'll try to interview him. Maybe he's coming around sometime soon or something. So we'll see.
Once every 5 years.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've heard rumors Merciful Fate is supposed to be reunited. They'll
No,
probably
that's-
play like
no.
Walk-In or something, not like here.
Christopher?
So. That's me, yeah, what?
No, he met Wacken, the
Ah.
open air festival.
Yeah, Germany.
Oh, not walking.
Yeah, Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken.
No,
Is that Christopher Reeve festival though? Nobody's Wacken
That's
there.
a
You
Batman
can't walk
thing
at all
today.
at that festival.
Anyway.
And that's the kind of quality Hammond we have on this show, an Austin Hammond production.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So we'll have some new band merch hopefully this summer here. So it should be soon.
Awesome.
So and I'll probably do reprints of the older shirts too. So people always ask.
So I can get Abe Lincoln again?
Yeah, I think we'll do the Abe Lincolns, and those will usually be by request, you know, and then we'll print out extras of the new ones. But because people are always asking, it's all the same guy that makes them for me. So.
Do you want to plug him? Maybe get him some work?
Yeah, God, what the hell's his site? I know he has stickers everywhere. Like I go to venues and he's just got them everywhere. Mind Jacket, that's it. Mind Jacket Designs, I think.
Like a jacket, or is he?
Jacket is a good wear. Yeah. He puts like he makes like a bunch of like goofy like joke shirts and puns and stuff that are pretty funny. But he's really cheap, and the nice thing about him, he's a local dude. Lives in like Cinderella or something. But the cool thing is you can order a bunch of stuff from him and he'll just meet you somewhere and you can go pick it up. You don't have to ship it, which takes a big cut off the price of the shirts, you know.
Are we gonna drop that in the link in the description?
Yeah, go for it. Nick's a good dude, man.
I
Nick's
mean,
a good
I was
dude.
thinking about it.
All right, let's do it. Link in the description.
Yeah, go for it.
Speaking of, another transition that's awkward.
Yeah.
What are you doing to fight the globalists?
The globalists. I don't know, man. I'm probably not doing the whole.
Have you ever been to InfoWarsStore.com?
No, I haven't.
How are you gonna get your survival seats?
No, they sell that kind of shit there? Jesus.
Yes, because when China, when we go to war with China, not the Russians, it's the Chinese we're going to war with, people.
Oh, man.
Look at this. See, look at this.
Fluoride-free toothpaste? Oh, my
So
God.
one tradition I'm trying to start
They're inside fluoride?
is, can I get you to read a description from InfoWarsStore.com real quick?
Yeah, sure. This looks terrible. But okay. No problem.
Come on, I want them to be a
All
sponsor.
right.
Hold on, let me make sure the camera's on you.
Yeah,
Make
Trish.
sure the
Can't
recording
wait.
is on.
I mean, okay.
Alright, so.
Maybe got it.
Oh, man. So this is a real product, too.
Yeah.
How much did this cost?
Only $9.95.
$10. Save it $5.
Actually, this one's really tame considering.
Alright, so it's Super Blue Fluoride-Free Toothpaste. A revolutionary new toothpaste blend with iodine and nano silver?
Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Nano.
And nano silver, designed to deliver a powerful clean while supporting good oral health and fresh breath. And
That does
that's
we're
good.
good.
But they're probably going fluoride out of the water and
Well,
everything.
because the fluoride in the water is turning the frogs gay.
Oh, man.
You really need to follow InfoWars.
Yeah, I'm not up on. They have a pink one too.
Yeah,
Is it
for her.
for breast cancer?
It's out of stock.
Just in case.
Is it prevent breast cancer?
Probably.
It's pink.
Now,
The NFL told me everything pink prevents breast
listen,
cancer.
it's all you need to know is that it's non-fluoride.
But
It won't turn your frogs gay that way.
so what do they do for water though?
Exactly.
Funny story about that. The one I had a Sound of Thunder read is nascent iodine.
Yeah.
And Josh told me
What do
when
you do with that?
he told me when he was a Boy Scout, they would use it to purify water when you can't boil it.
So like the nuclear holocaust is what we're saving up for here.
Nascent iodine.
Wonderful.
Biotrisylenium. That's what I'm having Armin read.
Oh, is he shield?
Next week I have the guy Armin. His band Ashes of Mankind, but he does shows up at the Sparta Inn.
Oh yeah, I've seen they're starting to get some Z-side thing played
Oh, yeah.
recently and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Guys, I'm sorry, this is the one we should have read.
I'll read
Z Shield.
The Z Shield.
Okay. Z
What
Shield.
is it, a bottle or something?
It's like a little eyedropper.
Alright. Let me see. Oh my god. You're right, this is terrible. Alright, here we go. Z-Shield. Fight back with Z-Shield, the game-changing toxic metal and chemical defense support formula by InfoWars Life.
Yep, that's it.
How much is that crap? $29.95. That's $30. Look, the savings is $10.
That's 25% off.
Oh my god.
How do you say no?
This is like holistic, so they can just sell water?
No, holistic, nothing, none of that hoopla. We're just fighting big government.
Holistic is also nothing, that's my point, but it doesn't have to be FDA approved because it's nothing in it, right? Like it's just water, right?
I guess.
No, continue reading. A quote from Alex Jones.
Experts say.
Yeah, experts who we're not quoting
Hold
here.
on. God damn it. One sec.
You lost it?
Yeah, there it is.
Experts in
This is him holding the bottle, he says, experts in
No, that looks photoshopped.
Oh, no, that's him.
No, the
Oh, no,
bottle.
that's him.
Okay.
Alex Jones would not lie to us.
Experts admit that every day we are bombarded by toxic metals. That's awesome, dude. I want to be bombarded by toxic metals, like that's
Toxic
basically-
holocaust.
Yeah, dude, I like toxic holocaust. They're sick. Gamma side, all kinds of cool stuff. But it's a proprietary toxic metal and chemical defense support formula. It's water, right?
I don't know.
It's a holistic water. I'm
You're missing
sure.
the point. He uses it every day for
Yeah.
himself and his family to help fight back.
Oh, yeah.
Again.
So what are those like the libertarians that eat silver and they turn blue and shit?
No, they brush their teeth with the silver.
Oh my god,
Remember?
dude. They turn like their skin turns blue.
Yeah,
though.
silver.
Oh my god.
Apparently,
Is
someone
that what that is? Is that what's in there? Is that the silver?
I don't know.
Oh
All I know is we're fighting globalists right now in this room.
Sure.
Apparently, we're taking too much male vitality in this room.
Too much super male vitality. Who is that?
Oh, man.
Logical innocence?
Logical nonsense.
Logical nonsense.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Who are you?
You're wrong.
Yeah.
You know how you can stop being wrong?
Super male vitality available 33% off at divorcestore.com. Link in the description.
That's what you call a plug.
I don't know if you actually buy that crap.
All I know is that since we started plugging this, we've lost 3 viewers.
Great. They're rushing up to buy it right now.
Yeah, as they damn well should be.
Sure.
All right, so we're getting up to the hour.
Okay.
Like I said, we aim for a half hour, but it always goes longer. Let's wrap it up. What is going on with DC Heavy Metal that we haven't talked about? What's new? What's on the horizon? And what else do you want to mention?
This is your last chance for questions.
I don't know. I mean, we're working. Honestly, I've had a lot of work on it lately. We went up to Philly for the Decibel Metal and Beer Festival, which is awesome. Then we went to Death Fest, which is always a huge thing. Iron Maiden last week. It's been busy, but I think in August we've got a show we're doing at Atlas Brewworks.
You guys put this show together?
Yeah, we book them. Usually I book them all. This one's actually the band is like friends with Will, so he was like, "Can we throw this together?" I was like, "Sure, we'll do it, whatever." And I think it's August 15th, I believe. That's gonna be like our next, not really a metal night. It's a show though. But we're starting to get some more shows. I don't book all the shows there. I started booking shows there, and one or two of the other promoters in the area were like, "Whoa, you can put metal bands in there?" I was like, "You can now." So. I think Earthling is coming on July 2nd. That's not one of mine, but Earthling rips. Go see that.
See, that's one thing though, is you don't realize how much swing you actually have. You have a website backing you.
Yeah.
Promoters will let you do shit.
Oh, I know. I mean,
and venues.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, in the end, it's my money that I'm gambling when I'm booking bands like that and stuff too. So it's like they're not all mine, but whatever. But yeah, I know. I mean, I got to put a show in the Fillmore. It's all because of my website, So
yeah.
But like I said, I've gotten to do all this stuff that I never thought I would when I started off. This website was really just an outlet event for me, and it's turned into a thing where it's like I've gotten to interview a dude from Black Sabbath and Slayer and Celtic Frost and all, like.
And Megadeth. Marty Friedman is from Megadeth.
I love Marty. I want to say that, but you're from Megadeth.
I do love Marty Friedman. I even like that Inferno album he put out, which was new at the time.
He kicks a lot of ass.
He can shred still, man.
But could you kick his ass?
I don't know.
Actually, yeah, there's no doubt. Marty's he's eating all that tofu and sushi and shit. He's a skeleton. No, he's very skinny.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen him, but...
He switched to Ibanez because you put a Jackson on him and it tips him over.
Yeah, well, don't give him a Travis Bean or anything.
Megadeth.
Yeah, Megadeth. But, it was really weird that he didn't, I don't know. Kerry King was also not a great interview. I did him. He was at least not, like bad. He didn't, end it, but...
It was just awkward to talk to him?
He's just not a good interviewer. And it's not that you're asking questions, and I'd be like, "So, you guys have a new album coming out? Like, what makes it cool or whatever?" And he's like, "Well, I think we're gonna have some new riffs on it. It'll be awesome." I'm like, "Okay, so you're coming to DC. Tell me about what kind of set list you're gonna play on this tour." He's like, "Well, it's gonna be a lot of old stuff. Probably a couple songs off the new album." I'm like, "All right." Continue talking. It was very hard to get him to keep saying stuff, but.
Well, what can you say about Slayer though? It's been the same song for the past 20 years.
Yeah, I mean,
I like Slayer. I like Slayer.
I love old Slayer. I mean, whatever, but it's still cool.
Now we're back to that whole I love the old shit, not the new shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's the way it is for a lot of bands, but I don't know. Except Napalm Death, they somehow still managed to be good after all this time. I don't know how the hell they do it. They're like the band that doesn't age or something.
They spend all their money and have no savings.
Yeah, probably. But those guys are really good dudes too, man. I remember I bought a live DVD of theirs, and it was all the proceeds went to some animal shelter in their hometown or something. It's that's awesome, man. Not a lot of bands their size that do stuff like that.
Bono does shit like that. He sells red iPhones to cure AIDS in Africa.
Oh man, there's so much wrong with all that. I'm not even get into that. I mean, you start thinking Bono, man.
That's the most.
And I wind up dead.
That is the most I want to talk about you two on this show.
Yeah, that's enough.
You feel?
But But I've been blown off for some interviews too. There are people who are supposed to do them a few times, and I've definitely been blown off too. So.
I've only been blown off by one person for an interview so far.
Well, that's good.
She's got an aspiring political career, so I can't blame her.
All right, then. All right.
All right. Well, all right, Chris. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been awesome, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, you're an awesome dude, and I want to have you back, and with less technical difficulties.
Yeah, sure, man. Anytime.
All right, everybody. Remember, fluoride, making the frogs gay, InfoWarsStore.com. I saw that. There's playback.
Whatever, I was trying to do the horns.
And for the love of God, rest in peace, Adam West. Good night, people.